Well, here we are again on this rainy Thursday in Central Florida. Can you believe it? It's finally raining again. They even said we were going to get tornadoes, but I don't think so. There's barely any breeze. I would like to welcome everybody. Happy to see that Grant and Juan and of course Sarah is always here. Are live with us. Feel free to use the Zoom link to join us on the podcast. If you have any questions, that would be wonderful. I have posted this on in a few Facebook groups, but I think people rather ask questions kind of anonymous in the group than ask them live in a live chat. Mm-hmm. But we are available. We do the best that we can, and we're here.
Yep. We're getting rain here too today, and I'm sure ours is a little bit more cooler than your area, but I hope you don't get any tornadoes. I hope everything's okay.
Yeah, the whole storm is more up to the north, a little bit more up to the north. I think we just get to the southern part of it, so it's no big deal. Mm-hmm. But we could use a little bit of rain. At least my plants can.
We have mud here.
Yeah, well, it's not a rainy season here in Florida. I found out that this actually is the season for tourism, because we wanted to go to Key West, and I was looking at the prices of hotels, and I'm like, what? No.
Yeah.
$400 for one night. I'm not used to those kind of prices.
Oh wow.
No. But that is the season here in Florida. I mean, this is where all the snowbirds, come.
That's where I'll be heading when I get a little bit older.
And I was thinking going up north, but I do have to say, after my less than 1 week experience in the cold, it's like, I don't know. It's like my body didn't like it, but you get used to everything. I got used to the heat.
Yeah.
When I came to the United States and I came in Florida, I thought that, 68 degrees in the house, my God, that was hot. And now I have the air conditioning set at 80 degrees because that's normal temperature for me.
Do you think too that, I remember back to my grandfather when he lived down there, and he'd been living there probably since the 80s. But yeah, he liked obviously he was used to the heat. But I was also thinking too, do you think that has anything to do with eating more of the fruits and stuff?
Well, I wasn't when I came. Yeah, when I came here, I wasn't eating that way. It was just all the regular stuff, and of all the regular stuff. I always ate organic, and I always, wasn't the person for meat or junk food, but still. I don't know. I think we do adjust, and maybe when we are on all fruit, it feels different, but no, that's not what I experienced.
Because I know during the summer, like this was my second summer on all orange juice, at least like throughout the day. But I was nowhere near as hot this year. Like I was not sweaty. I was not. And we're still doing the same exact work that we did the first year too. But it was pretty interesting. And then my mom was also doing it, and my husband, and we were all fine pretty much all summer. There was not one day where we felt like heat exhaustion or anything like that.
Yeah, but you're getting healthier.
And hydrated. So like we were actually hydrating on a cellular level.
Yeah, exactly. I do see that with my husband though. He's easily hot outside, getting very, very sweaty. And I don't have that at all. I don't sweat, which is not a good thing. Parathyroid is involved here. Yeah. I don't sweat enough. And I should, even in a sauna. And I am actually selling my infrared sauna, and I have this conflicted feelings about it. I'm selling it because I'm not using it. Now I have to admit I never liked the sauna. Never, ever. while it was very popular among my friends in going to saunas and the rest of my family, it was never something I liked. I don't like the heat on my face. And no, but I didn't have a problem riding a motorcycle in Death Valley in July. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know about myself with the weird things. But actually, yeah, I'm selling an infrared sauna. And there is a lot of interest for it. And I'm like, yeah, I have to tell them that, infrared is not healthy. I didn't like it. My husband did like it. But when he heard what Dr. Morse said about the infrared sauna, it was like, okay, done. But then I thought, okay, then we do the next possible thing, and that is a steam sauna. Now, you can buy these steam saunas for, a good one for around $150. So I got one. And it's a portable one. It's like a little canvas with plastic or something on it. And so your head sticks out, so at least I don't have the heat on my face. So that's good. And then it kind of blows in the steam. So I was sitting there for 20 minutes, and I felt the water drip off my body, and had to wonder, like, okay, is this the steam that is dripping off, or is it am I actually sweating? And it wasn't clear to me. I don't know. So that one is up for sale too. I only used it once.
My question about the steam sauna then is where does the water come from? If it's a portable one, I assume you can, have like a gallon jug or 5-gallon jug there where you have your water. But then steam, you're inhaling, like if you're using tap water, you're inhaling chlorine. So I don't even know how that would be.
Come on, Sarah, I'm smarter than that.
No, not you. I'm saying the average, a lot of people, there's some, that's the other thing. Like when somebody first tells me something, I'm like, well, let me break it down. What kind of water are you using? What are you using here? And then like most people I know just like roll their eyes and walk away. But I'm like, no, you got to learn to think like that. You can't just be like, oh, let me jump in. You have to say like, well, what is this? What is, instead of just trusting everything and moving forward.
Well, I thought I use distilled water to answer that question.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, but and I think they even have that in the manual. They tell you what water to use.
Mm-hmm.
But I had not thought about that yet. When you sit in this small tent and all that steam comes in, and it goes on your body, then what is the water that drops off your body? I mean, you add water to the body, and is it that hot? No, I didn't think it was that hot, not at all. And so I'm still dubious about, what actually is it. So now I'm reading more about dry saunas. And I'm like, okay, now you have the infrared, and it says very low EMF, and that was mine actually also. So we checked that, and it had this ozone thing that has that odd smell. Yep. And I already learned from Dr. Marr that is not the healthiest thing to use.
No.
But it is yeah. If we go outside, I mean, I can sit in a hot car, and I probably will start sweating then.
Be careful.
At least that is a dry sauna.
Yeah, we are not recommending anyone to do that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we used to in a certain line of work that I'm familiar with, we would always use those Ozium machines. And even what they would tell us too was you turn them on and you get out of the room like immediately. Do not like stay in the room. And they would always run overnight too when no one was there. But yeah, those are iffy machines.
Yeah, and if you then think about the sweat logs that Native Americans used, it's as being the healthiest. I can see that, and it's nothing more than just heat in a small area.
Yeah.
and you stay in there as long as you can handle it. I don't like it much, but
Yeah.
to get the body sweating. But I'm like, okay, I know we should be sweating, but then it's like, well, let's fix it. Let's fix the cause that I'm not sweating, and that is thyroid, parathyroid. To get that done.
Mhm. Yeah. And I see questions about your other point too. People were wanting to be more anonymous too on asking the questions, and that's completely fine. Or if you want to send an email too to Toni at the healthy, oh my goodness, I'm blanking, healthy with fruit
Healthy with fruit, yeah.
at gmail.com. You can put in there too that you want to remain anonymous, and then we definitely will not discuss your name, but we could still bring up that topic because there could be a lot of people going through the same issue that just don't feel comfortable to ask as well. So we are definitely here to help, and we want everyone on this healthy path and on the journey to Wellville, as Dr. Morse would say.
Yeah, that is, I see a lot of questions lately about constipation. And that's not a topic, everybody wants just to talk about it, but it is very important. I found, and maybe one had the same experience, that I was always, especially since I did that last water fast. Well, actually, it was lemon water. It was already 10 years ago. And before that, bowel movements were on and off, diarrhea, constipation. There was always something, and I was used to that. But after I did that 40 days back then, the lemon water, it was as regular as it can be. 1 hour after eating, there was a bowel movement, and that is how it should be. But over the years, even being on all fruit, it was like some day nothing. But that was maybe, I thought, I hadn't eaten a lot, just a little fruit or a little juice, didn't have much, and it was kind of off. But now, after these, what was it, 21, 23 days of water fast, it's like amazing how easily it comes out again, and how easily the bowel movements have become. And when I read questions in the group, Facebook groups, Telegram groups, about people having issues with constipation, it always goes back to dehydration. And people suffer from headaches, severe migraines, cramps. And anytime it is like dehydration, and every time I ask, how much are you drinking? Well, I have the fruit, so not that much. And it's like, my gosh, just drink water. Whoever tells you you don't need water, it's like, please don't listen to your body. If you have any constipation, or any time you have headaches, make sure that you drink water. You need to get those toxins out. That is important. That is what
Mhm.
and it's like an ongoing thing. Everyone that I talk to, every time I see it in all these groups, ask questions, it is always the constipation. And people don't realize that there's so much muck, if I can call it that, in our bodies, that the water is really, really important.
That, and we were talking about grapes too, and grapes are amazing. Like if anything, my first is, yep, grapes and water, and just try to turn to them. And I've said a million times, I'm not the best water drinker. I try very hard to chug it down every day, but for some reason I just can't. But I definitely stay on my fruits, and I do try water every single day, getting it down. And grapes are just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we see it. What we do see and experience personally too is having lower back pain, and then it's like, oh yeah, I haven't had any water today. You drink a glass of water, and it's like it disappears.
Yep.
It's
So
it's amazing how that works and how easy it is.
yeah, my mom actually, she was getting to the point where like she could barely even walk. She was just, just always in pain. She either had to lay down or sit down or anything. So She's like, well, I am drinking water. I'm drinking water. I'm like, well, you're not drinking enough water, especially like when you put ice in there. And I don't care if that says it's 32 ounces. Once you put the ice in there, you're at probably like, I don't know, 20, 18, whatever. So we got a thing out. She has like this glass mason jar that was a gallon and it has like a spigot. It was perfect. So we filled that up and she was having trouble getting that down. So now she's up to a whole gallon, almost a whole gallon every single day. And guess what happened to her back pain?
Oh my gosh. Amazing.
Amazing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I see we have both Juan and Grant on the call today. Welcome, both of you. And we can see you both too.
Hi, you can see me?
Yes, I can now.
Oh,
Hey.
one, I have to say something. We already,
I
we
didn't
all,
do it.
I'm doing good, but I gotta tell you, there is a complaint about your naked body.
Oh,
What?
what?
Dear Lord.
What?
Oh, dear
What?
Lord.
It was said that please have this guy wear a shirt.
Oh man, I'm going through the Eugene syndrome.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I think so.
gosh.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that will increase our viewership if All right. All
We
right.
have a naked man on the show.
All right. Yeah.
Oh,
No, don't.
no, you don't.
No,
Here,
no.
how about this? How about this shirt here? Can you read that?
Yeah, stay well, stay free. Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. You stay
Yeah.
safe, I'll stay free. That's a
Yeah,
good one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna stay free. Are
Yeah.
you serious, man? What, people don't go to the beach or what? What's
Juan
Yeah,
lives
but
in
you're not
California.
at the beach right now.
Yeah, Juan lives in California. Things are a lot more laid back there. And I actually had a friend too from Hawaii. And when she first came here, which granted she was in Hawaii probably in the 60s, but when she came here, she said it was so hard for her not to want to just have her bathing suit and her cover up on and flip-flops all the time. She's like, that was like my outfit, like every day. That's just kind of how we were. So she said it's really weird wearing all these clothes all the time.
Yeah, I don't see why it would be an issue, and then that can be the only comment. And it's kind of, yeah, let it be. Let everybody be the way they want to be. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. That's the same with Eugene too. And I saw pictures from Eugene in Portugal. He's actually wearing a shirt.
Yeah, I think it's more cold there too. So I guess it
Probably.
really depends on your
Yeah.
climate. Well, speaking of that too, which I have not watched it yet, I am waiting to watch this because there's 3 seasons of The Chosen, and on the 3rd season there are 3 episodes, so 3 and 3. And the 3rd season, or I'm sorry, the 3rd episode is coming out on Christmas. And so I'm gonna save it. We're gonna watch it all. We're gonna binge watch those 3 episodes that day. But anyway, there was a quote that was put up on Facebook, and Jesus is talking. Oh my gosh, I know his name. But anyway, so Jesus is talking. It says, every one of these people I have called for a reason, and each of them brings something unique and important to the world. So, I mean, no matter if you're wearing your shirt, even the people that are wearing their mask still, or I saw a gentleman put gloves on when he went into the grocery store today to touch a grocery cart. It doesn't matter how silly or whatever, everybody's having a part, and those people are helping people maybe wake up or realize or whatever. So we all have a part to play, and everybody just has to learn that each of us are unique and individuals, and that is exactly the way God created us.
Yeah, and that is what we have to respect. For some reason, and this has nothing to do with what you just said, so I apologize, but I just see that my laptop says I only have 6% available while being plugged in. So guys, if I disappear, that could be a reason.
Oh no. Okay.
I don't know what's going on with my laptop. So
Okay. Well, if anything drops lower, just let us know on that.
yeah, I think it's time for a backup.
Yep.
A new one. This one is getting old, very
Yeah.
old actually. I already retired my computer because it was so tired.
Oh,
You have the word retired. Isn't that interesting word? Have you ever thought about that?
not necessarily.
No, we are so tired, retired.
Tired again.
Exactly. Hi, Grant.
Hi,
Hey,
Grant. How are you
Hi.
doing today?
good, good. How are you?
We're good. We're always good.
Yeah, well, first time I don't know how it's coming out on the picture, but first time I'm gonna show the face.
You looking good, Grant.
Looking thin for sure, but
Yeah,
definitely better than was before.
yeah.
I had a big head, fat. That I've fat face. Some people it was a stomach and the face, but now it got to where it's okay. We don't want to go too much lower,
Well,
But
you're looking good.
You have light in your eyes and
thank
in your
you.
smile. Your smile touches your eyes too. So you're like very happy. Good.
Yeah, well, Juan's the one that kind of brought me out. Let's show some pictures.
There you go.
Let's show some. It's the next step to me. The first step was talking, and then the next step is show. I mean, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. You deal with that. It's each person, the eye of the beholder kind of thing. So just happy to be
Absolutely.
here and
We're very happy to have you.
showing what the coon ass, what the Cajun man looks like. Let people know what the Cajun man looks like. That's all.
Well, we're very happy to see you and thank you for everything you've brought to this and all the conversations.
I don't see any activity in the live chat. Is it actually working?
Yeah, I'm seeing it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I cannot see it. So if there's any question, then you have to let me know.
Okay. Yeah.
I added something to the show notes, and you can actually, if you scroll down in I think show note description, I uploaded a PDF with the 3 levels of diet when you want to detox. And so you can download that. And I did add it also to the ebook, but it's not in yours yet, one. And well, whoever else has it. And Sarah, did you receive your book yet, Sarah?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Because
I'm gonna swing by again today.
Yeah, it went out Monday. I
Okay.
think, or even before that. But you can print out that PDF and then you can add it to the book. It's a good thing to have. So for anybody who wants to know what actually Dr. Morse's advice was on how to go from what is it? An easy detox to start with to make it more intense. It shows you everything right there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Toni. And thank you so much for putting all that into one book for us all to view and see. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I was always sending my the people I talk to, like my clients, I was always sending them PDF here, PDF there, here's the link, there's the link. And I was like, this is not making any sense. We need to put this all together.
Yep.
I sent it out to quite a few people. I didn't hear back from all of them. But anyway, there is a new version. It's up to 231 pages now.
Just keeps going. Well, I mean, there's a lot of gnosis that we need to share and get out.
Yeah, and I think there are several of the articles that you could share with people. You could red pill people. There's a whole section. I don't think I did put the salt one in it, but I definitely put the one about meat or proteins in it.
That's the one I was gonna say. I've red pilled so many people with just that right there.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do have a couple questions. So this is from Katie. She says, well, I don't know if it's a question or it's a statement, but she says, I find that I can't do a strict juice fast without including water because I get a headache after about 2 to 3 days.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm. I guess my other
So,
question would be too, is how much juice are you really taking in? That would be another question.
what I did, and usually it's about 3 liters of 3 quarts of juice, and 1 to 2 quarts of water or liters.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that is what I get on an every. If I don't get that much, I can actually see it on my fingertips right away. They get wrinkly.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Whenever you get into a shower or a bath or a pool, and if your fingertips wrinkle quickly, you're dehydrated.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a big sign.
But that is the same with when your skin gets saggy and it gets wrinkly, and people are like, yeah, but I have all this fruit and I'm still dehydrated. Otherwise, you don't have that.
Right. And are you still not, this is not a question for anyone in the chat, but just like an in general question is, are you still eating cooked foods? Because you could be hydrating, you could be doing everything you're thinking you're doing, but the moment you take in cooked foods, that sucks out so much of the moisture out of your body to go into digestion to try to help get that cooked food through your system. And this could even be, like pasta, rice. It doesn't have to necessarily be meat, but any cooked food, your body's going to suck water into your system or fluid of any sort into your stomach to help with digestion and to move it through all your pipes.
Yeah, and you know what? Even if you eat a soup, and you would think that is water, it is just a soup with some veggies in it, and you can still get dehydrated from that.
Yeah,
That was my experience.
oh yeah.
And it's every time. It's you get bloated, you get tired. That's another one.
Mm-hmm.
And dehydrated. And sometimes I worry if the tiredness that so many people feel can come from dehydration.
Yes, it really can.
And there is such an assault in any which way. We talk about the 5G, the EMFs, whatever radiation around us everywhere. And I wonder if, and I have not researched this. This just popped up in my mind. How much that could actually dehydrate your body.
That I don't know, but that would be something good to look into.
Yeah, and I know one of the people she has actually been on the show here too, and now name escaped me. She is very active with natural hygiene diet, and she drinks at least a gallon a day. And it's like, well, I could try, but there's no way I'm going to get a gallon a day in unless I eat something very salty, then maybe. But other than that, it's not going to happen. But she is, oh my gosh, the way she looks is so amazing.
That's
And
wonderful.
how she really cleaned out her body and healed.
Mm-hmm.
And that is part of their way of eating is drinking, living, is actually a lot of water. And I heard or read Lauren say that she takes most of her water in the morning.
Yeah, rehydrate after your fast, your nightly fast.
Yeah, and don't drink cold water. People here are so used to, go to a restaurant and they put an big glass with ice water in front of you. And water should be room temperature, not cold.
We've always done room temperature water. I can't stand cold water. Mm-mm. We have another question from, I think it's Santa Brooks. Hey, Toni, how long does a cancer patient stay on the tinctures, or can they just stay on the fruit, berries, and melons? Thanks.
Well, that is a question that is, there's no clear answer for that. And I know it's a financial aspect of, spending $500 a month on the tinctures. but you need them as long as you need them. If there is no improvement, then we have to look at other things. And maybe, and don't get mad at me for even suggesting it, because Dr. Moore says if one thing doesn't work, you go to the next thing, and that is going into the glandulars. And glandulars are animal derived. Personally, I do not have a problem suggesting that to people when we cannot reach what we want to reach with the herbals. What you can do is if you've been taking them, for instance, and this is more in general, Sana, it's not necessarily directed to you, but in general, I would say, after 3 months, stop for a month and then pick it up again. And it's the same with the diet. Just go never for now, don't go back to eating the meat that got us in the predicament with health that we are in. And it doesn't matter if you have cancer, because whatever name you give it, it's still high acidosis. It's the top of acidosis in your body. So it's a slow process. I wish that we could say, okay, we've done this for 3 months, and now we're good. Now we don't need that anymore. It doesn't work that way. I even heard Dr. Moore say it's like when that question came up, and he has I don't know if you guys ever go there. He has a few websites, and one is drmorse.tv. Another one is Dr. Morse's detoxcenters.com. And on that, he actually answers that question. And he said for some people, they have to keep taking it for a year. I had not heard that before, because there are a lot of people who would say, yeah, you take herbs for a few months, and then you stop a few months or a month, and then you start again. So I don't know where the wisdom is in that. I like to go with what Dr. Morse's experience is, because he has a few years more with this than I do. He has a lot of experience, so I would say we go with whatever he advises. Now, I did copy all his Q&As, and let me see if I can find that fast. Yeah, there were so many questions that he was answering there. So I would say definitely go to these websites and see what he is advising.
I'm having trouble finding the second one you said. You said Dr. Morse's Detox
Centers.
Let
me find that one and see if I did it wrong again. Dr. Morse's.
Okay.
Yeah, the Dr. Morris TV, I listened to all his podcasts that he's putting out lately since he got back going. So I follow him, but I'm not on to the second one. Yeah, I've never been on there.
Yeah, it is more. He has his yeah, it is opening. It is Dr. Morse's, an S in there after Dr. Morse, Detox Centers with an S.com. I'm there right now, and he has okay, let me go to the FAQs. When you click on more, there is a frequently asked questions, and that's where you find a lot of the answers about how long, because it varies for everyone, and sometimes we have to change a formula, and especially because I can see where people do get pretty depressed about what is going on, especially when you still have to work. It's tough. It's extremely tough. Because when you are in that stage, and I know it's not possible for most of us, but when you are on that level of health, you need to rest as much as you can. And if you keep working, if you have to keep working and you get depressed and worried about having to keep working, it doesn't help healing. That is, I feel so I feel so bad about that. You know, I wish that things have to change in the world.
Yep, 100%. And it is really hard. There's a couple that I've been speaking with too, and she's a mom, single mom with children, and she's going through her second round of breast cancer battle. And she still has to work all the time, and the community's trying to come together to help with her, but she's, not able to rest. And, she doesn't want to not be there for her children also, because she does not know how much time she actually has left. But from what I've spoken with the other people is that, she's going to follow the advice of her doctors. So that's another thing that's really hard, is for the people that know too, is to watch.
It absolutely is, because that there are better ways, but it is time consuming, and time is not always in our favor.
Nope.
And yeah.
And that's why there's no better time to start than right now. And even if you don't feel anything, or you don't know anything, we've been eating cooked meals, and we've been eating crap for so many years or generations even, that there's no better time than now to start.
True. And here the answer is, how long do I need to stay on the formulas? His answer is, everyone is different, so some issues will reverse themselves very quickly in 3 to 4 months, and other deeper issues may take up to 9 months, 12 months, or even longer to resolve. Some of our weaknesses and congestive issues are deep-seated and genetic, so it takes a lot of effort and a serious time investment to eliminate these deeper issues. Time and patience heals all wounds. And that is what we need to have. I learned that too. It's like, when I started with this, and it's now comes up 3.5 years, over 3.5 years ago, I was like, oh my God, by the end of the year, And then, you have your setbacks, you have your things, doubts. Sometimes creeping in, like, am I ever going to heal? Is this ever going to get better? You see things getting better, and then other things, they're still a mess, and sometimes even getting worse. And then you have your fallbacks with diets, in your cheat meals, knowing things that you shouldn't eat. And it is not an easy journey, but my gosh, it took us years and years and years to get sick, unwell, not having a healthy body. And now we need to repair it, and it takes a while.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes a while.
Yeah.
And getting desperate, and believe me, I understand that. I went after falling, what is it now? Was last week, 2 weeks ago? I was in so much pain. Not right away. This is actually an amazing thing, and I think many people have experienced that right after a fall, you have no pain. I hear it from people with motorcycle accidents, etc. No, the pain comes a day later. And we already blessed ourselves that we came off very well and without any pain. Now it comes the next days, and it's all these muscles that were very tight with a fall. And the rain is picking up here, and the wind. And then, you have a few days, the muscles heal. For me, they healed within a week, and the weakness was getting better. So I'm doing good now. But that is where you get sometimes, it was compared to a lot of things that can happen, and even compared to cancer, it was really minor. But your body, again, goes through changes. And for everybody who is, I know this is about Senna's son. If you are at that point, bless every little step forward. Bless them tenfold.
Mm-hmm.
And believe that you are healing, because I know you're doing everything that you can do. And it is tough. It's absolutely tough. The pain, the fear. Because especially when you are, well, it doesn't, it's not just about age. Sometimes we see, I was going to say, especially when you are that young, but even for me, at my age, I'm not ready to go, not by a long shot.
Mhm.
So,
Oh yeah. And I believe in too that you can, do like healing touch, like using God's, like energy. I do that a lot, especially in my animals. I will hold them on my chest and I will put my hands in the area and I will just meditate on that area. I don't ever try to think of anything like that. Like I always try to envision like a white light and I just put my hand over that area and, God knows what we want and what is going to be best in the whole overall plan. And all we can do is just try to use our own frequencies to try to heal. The same as like when a cat is on you and they're purring, they're kind of helping to bring your vibration into alignment. I believe we can do that too. So keeping your energy pure and clean and do your meditations and then carry that energy over to whomever it is you're also trying to heal. There is a way of doing that where you're kind of like channeling God's energy instead of giving your own energy. So that might be something you might want to look into too. But it's mainly, I always just try to explain it as just start with like, just imagining that you got like this beam of energy coming in through your head and you're able to push it out through your hands, kind of like you're a superhero. And you can also push it out through your heart, maybe, or out your belly, like you're a Care Bear. And you just give that energy to people and, just spread more of that vibration everywhere you go.
there is another thing that, well, actually, no, I have to respond to what you were just saying. That is exactly the visualization that I learned about, already about 20 years ago. And I haven't done it much. And then there is another one that is tapping. And there is something that we do need to address also, because when you get cancer, there is also a lot of anger. It is, you have all the things that you have to deal with but, address the anger that you feel and see if you can release that. And this goes for everybody who is very sick. It doesn't matter if it's cancer or MS or, whatever comes up, try to address the anger. I had to do that too. And I've done the tapping, but now it's just letting go and observing my body's responses and trust that everything for a reason. We may not understand it, but we are going through things for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah.
And this is not like the, I don't think that this is going to be the complete appropriate, but channel to really talk about this, but it also depends on too, like what you believe your beliefs are in the afterlife and things like that. But, maybe we could, I don't know. I've always that I feel really pulled to talk about that, but I think I would like to set up a show to kind of do that. But so if anyone's interested, maybe I'll do something like that too. But I've always wanted to kind of talk that subject too.
I would be very interested in something like that, because it is kind of a struggle for many of us.
Mm-hmm.
We have this fear about dying. And I heard someone said it was, well, it's not about myself, it's about the people I leave behind.
Yes.
And that is true. So more people need to be aware of what is the truth with this.
Mm-hmm.
And then do we already know the truth?
Yes.
It's with my sister not being here anymore. And I would, now there is something else, and I know I've asked it before. It's about, should we be buried or cremated? So I listened to a show yesterday, and this has nothing to do with, answering health questions, I know, but it comes up in life, and what we talk about is about life, is that, because I was surprised to hear that when my sister passed away, she was not buried right away. She was actually in her own bed, dead, in embalmed, for days, because her coffin wasn't ready. And I was like, what? And so I listened to a YouTube video where they were addressing what is in the Bible. Should people be buried? Should they be burned? Should they be cremated? And it was about the embalming fluid. It is millions and millions of gallons that is being used, because everybody nowadays who is being buried gets embalmed. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that is a practice in
very,
the US.
that's very toxic for the environment. Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
That happens every day in America. I don't know how it is in the other countries, but here they embalm everybody.
Yeah, my sister lived in the Netherlands, so it is there too. And I was surprised that she actually wanted to be buried. And yeah, and I'm like, I haven't decided about that. And I was like, what is the right thing to do? I've seen beautiful ways where actually a person will be cremated. And there's another thing, you get cremated with all your clothes on, and they tell you to not wear any synthetics because that doesn't burn. It's like crazy things that we have to even, think about. But there was something, and it had to do with a tree, and the ashes go into a pot with seeds, and I have to look it up. I have vaguely remember the cremation and the dirt and the tree that will grow out of it. And I was like, okay, that sounds more like, a route that I would want to take.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, I'll definitely pull something together, and we'll kind of get more into it. And then we'll kind of see what everybody really has to say and think.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll just be something open where, I don't know, I'll probably record it, but I don't know if I'll publish it because I don't know how personal it'll be, and I don't want to share people's personal stuff like that. So we'll just see, but we'll talk about it. And
yeah, well, it is something we deal with every day. I mean, people around us, they pass away, and there is a lot of fear, and there's a lot of mourning, and there's a lot of misunderstandings, and it would be good. It would be good to get this more out in the open. And I haven't heard everything that Charlie or even Justin says about, and I hear a lot of people, it's like you don't die. It's just you leave this body, this outside. But I cannot wrap my head around how exactly that all works, and maybe I shouldn't, but there's not as much of fear. I think the fear is usually, oh my God, what do I leave behind? It's like the person who stays behind, they have to take care of all your stuff. I see what's going on now with my sister. It's unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my mother was totally against cremation, and she wanted a direct burial, and those are really rare. It was hard to find a funeral, a mortuary that did that. Direct burial means that there's no coffin; you're just buried right into the ground. But we did find a funeral place that did it up here in California, in my city. But personally, I kind of think for myself, either way, I kind of feel that this is our vessel, and we are eternal. We're spirits, living in this material world. So either way, for me, I just almost kind of feel that uh, we never leave, whether we're, our bodies, or even if we're cremated. Yeah, I think those ashes are still, contained within this firmament. So, I really like that idea, Sarah, about, having a discussion on, the spirituality. But that wouldn't be, then you're saying, on this show, Toni, it would be a separate show, or?
It
I
was
don't,
something that Sarah suggested that she wanted to do.
yeah, I don't think we should do it on like the health Q&A. Like, I think it should be something totally different, but yeah.
All right.
So
Ah,
we'll
okay.
think about it and we'll see, but I'll definitely let everybody know, and we'll go
Okay.
from there. But
Oh,
yeah.
all right. So then you have like your own show, Sarah, or something, or
I mean, I have a YouTube channel, but I don't
Oh,
know what we'll do it on or what it'll be. So, because I know there's like, I know I have some personal stuff too, but I mean, I just don't know if it probably won't be a live, so I don't know. I'll think about it.
okay. Well,
We'll see.
I have something, Toni. I'm going to be joining Justin Carpenter. He's doing on the 17th. Well, he's going to actually be doing a fast. He calls it looping. Recycling. He's going to be doing. I've always known it as urotherapy, but he's going to be doing for 8 days. Looping. He said that on Tuesday's Q&A with Charlie, and I kind of laughed. I said, well, I haven't heard it called looping, but on the 17th, which is Saturday, Toni, I'm going to be joining the health challenge, for the winter solstice that Justin has put out, and I'm going to go for 24 days, Toni. I'm going to do water for 24 days.
Okay. And when are you going to start with that?
Saturday, the 17th. And
okay.
so it'll
2
go
days.
into next year, and it'll end on 1/1/1, January
That's cool.
11th. Yeah, that'll be 24 days. And I kind of have some questions revolving around well, I know when I did my 20-day water fast back in October, and we had spoke to this before on previous shows about water. I'm gonna, I guess, really drink way more water, if anything, force myself, and probably like I remember your suggestion, or somebody has suggested that you just put the water in front of you, and that's what you need to drink for the day, and so my question revolves around type of water, bottled water, like this water here you can get at Costco, and it's alkalized 9.5 water. It's purified water, but what's your take on drinking well, this pre-bottled water? Obviously it's coming in plastic and everything, but it sure is convenient. What are your thoughts about the waters?
Oh, the Kirkland. What is how is there a certain alkalinity on it?
Well, yeah, Kirkland brand is Costco, but yeah, it does. It has like 9.5 alkalinity or higher, is what it's
I would
saying.
not do that.
Okay.
The highest in alkalinity is 8 to 8.5.
Yeah, 9.5 is pretty high.
9 and 9.5 is way too high, because you think there's only one number in between. Well, it's a lot more than that. I cannot explain how they calculate that, but it is way too alkaline. It's not healthy. Actually, the one that I am using is and I get that on Amazon, is Aqua Panna. And that comes from Tuscany. That was actually water that Dr. Morse was using. So I was like, oh, let's try it out. And I have it automatically shipped to me because you couldn't get it here in the stores. And it is actually kind of cheap. And so I have been using that. While I was on vacation, I had quite a few bottles with me. And it's natural spring water from Tuscany.
Oh, and you're saying that can be gotten delivered to you through Amazon?
Yeah, I have that delivered. It's 12, what is it? Was it six bottles in a case?
Oh, okay. And it's coming in plastic bottles.
Yeah, it is in plastic bottles, but
Okay.
you can get it in glass bottles, but I found that too expensive.
Oh, I bet.
So
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Okay. What's the name of that? Tuscany?
It is Aqua, ACQUA, and then Panna, PANNA, natural spring water. It is 1 liter box, 1 liter bottles. It comes in a 12-pack, not a 6-pack. It's a 12-pack. And right now they actually have it for $19.80. So that is absolutely not a bad price.
No, okay. I'll look into that because yeah, I do order stuff from Amazon. So yeah, that must be a pretty big, heavy package.
Well, we have it say 24 bottles every 2 weeks.
Okay. Well then yeah, I will be obviously reporting back on how I'm doing with my fast. And I was looking at some pictures that I had taken when I was on my 20-day water fast, and I was noticing that I looked dehydrated, because you were talking about like the wrinkling of the fingers and stuff like that. I really had some wrinkles in my face, especially around my eyes around here, and I was like, whoa, I was looking sucked up. And the funny thing is you would think that when you're on a fast, you would be extremely thirsty, I would think, but I don't know, I just don't have a thirst. Even though I'm not eating, I definitely going to do this fast more to detox and cleanse. That's going to be like one of my primary goals, because I know that there's a lot of toxins inside of my body, because like I had spoken to in the past on this show, I was a pretty heavy partier in my past life. My past life. Well, yeah. I mean, for 40 years, I was, doing stuff that wasn't good for my body.
It was your BF before fruit.
Yeah, my BF.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
We've all been there, Juan. We're all on that journey of healing.
I saw a question from Katie.
That's what I told Sarah.
From Jacob, is drinking tea also count as water? Actually, it's neutral. So it's not that it's hydrating or dehydrating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Grant, you were saying something and I interrupted.
Well, no. You don't have to apologize. I was just agreeing with Juan. Yeah, that's it. But which I was talking about a while ago. I told my wife and my daughter, when I die, I'm sure we all died sometime, but don't put me in the ground like that. Not in a casket, because you can't decompose in the casket. I said, burn me and go to Florida on the beaches of Florida and just throw me in the water. That was my favorite place. That was my favorite place. The Emerald Coast. And as I grew up, I got Miami and Tampa and Sarasota and Palm Beach and all the other places. I've been to maybe 100 beaches in Florida. That was my dream, to visit every beach in Florida. And I didn't visit them all. And I went to like 100 of them.
Well, you can still do it.
That if I live another 100, 200 years, yeah, of course.
Well, you're getting younger.
Yeah.
Now you're getting younger, so now you got more time.
I feel better. Let's put
There
it
you
that
go.
way. I don't know if I'm looking younger, but you know, feeling better. And I don't have to worry about all them things that I used to have to worry about, you know. Am I gonna eat that? Am I gonna eat this? Because I used to, like Juan says, he was partying all the time. Well, I was eating anything and everything.
Yep.
Y'all wouldn't even believe if I started to tell you what I used to eat. But those days are gone now. And
Yep.
we do, you know, we when you know better, you do better. That
Mhm.
I
kind of
like
thing, you
exactly,
know.
Glenn.
Colleen always, and Charlie, Justin, all of them said, "Yeah,
Yep.
I'm
Well,
I'm so happy to be here with y'all,
So and
with
that's the
people."
start. That's the start. Feeling better, your spirit gets better. And that's the beginning of, at least I believe, reversing your age. You're gonna start feeling better, and your spirit becomes stronger.
Yeah, and just correct. It's just like the other thing is, if you feel, I used to make myself feel so bad in school that I had to call my mama, you know, I had to say, I got to go check out. So our belief and our thinking is way more powerful than we realize, you know, because you can actually make yourself sick. I would get myself I would get so thinking that I would just vomit or whatever in school. And then they'd say, well, he got to go home. And it's like, wow, how powerful is the mind? But, you know, they don't teach you about that. They don't talk about that in school and everything. They tell you, hey, sit down, shut up, and don't speak until you're spoken to.
Mm-hmm.
I never agreed with that. They can kiss my ass. I'm not what you talking about. You're not even making sense. Well, what you saying, but you want me to listen to you? Yeah, that was all that good stuff. But that's besides the point, you know. I digress, like they say, you know. School was never my thing. I went, I did my 12-year sentence, and I got out of that. No, you know, that was never my thing. They was talking all kind of baloney, like we was coming from monkeys and the world was spinning around, and I wasn't spinning, you know. I think about it now, what Charlie says, it's like, God damn, I never felt I was spinning. I was just there on a level plane, just walking on the earth. Now, if you got mountains, you go up. If you got valleys, you go down. Besides that, it was flat or level, however you want to call it. And yeah, that's okay. That's good
yeah, and
enough, I
all of
think, for
that
today.
and all of that we didn't learn the truth in school, and it's still not happening. Unfortunately, I finally have I can read now the live chat, so I can see the questions, and we missed one from Sue, who said hydration is important. Why is dry fasting good? Yeah, it's dry fasting helps opening up your kidneys and take a detox deeper. I would be very careful with it. Dr. Morse says no longer than 36 hours. I know of somebody who did actually studied with Dr. Morse and studied even way more. Did a 7-day long dry fast, and she talks in a video about her experience with that. I would be scared to follow in her footsteps. I could do 24 hours and that was it for me. And that was when I had food poisoning. So, to do it now, I wouldn't. I think we would be doing good with our nightly dry fasting. You know, when we stop eating and drinking like 7 and then start again the next day at noon, break our fast at noon, we have a pretty long dry fast already, and then break it with break the fast with fruit. Is it absolutely necessary to do it for a longer time? I don't think so, but that is personal, and there are people who called me crazy to say don't do it longer than 36 hours because they feel they can easily do it 3 days, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, and it can also be dangerous. It depends on, of course, it depends on the level of health or acidity that your body is in. But not everybody can handle that, and so I cannot recommend it. I can only say up to 36 hours. Will it help with opening up your kidneys so that you can detox further? Yes, I do think so, but I haven't done it myself, and I cannot talk of my own experiences. So I can only be careful with it. And I do see that Karen is here. I haven't seen you in a long time, all the way from Israel. Great. This is great to see you here. And I saw Jacob is here from the Netherlands, and that he is walking 3 hours a day with his dog. Actually, it's quite cold there, but I think most people who are here on the chat are in colder areas anyway. I think it's the ones in the south are the lucky ones that still have temperatures in the 70s, 80s sometimes even. But I know it was cold in the Netherlands, and freezing cold, which is, not happening a lot. Although I've been gone for 20 years, so I don't know what changed in the last 20 years. We are getting close to, well, we are already over an hour again. If you guys have anything you want to still share with us, then, please do it. Do it now. And otherwise, you got to wait until next week. And if there is anybody who is interested in that 231-page ebook, and I can actually print it out for you. I did it for Sarah. I did it for Juan. And because I got a laser printer now, I will put it in a binder and ship it out to you. I cannot do that for free, so there is a donation that would be then welcome. But if you're interested in that, then let me know, and we go from there. There's a ton of information in it. I know that one is the one who has the physical book right now.
Yeah, everyone, get your book.
I'm gonna go look for mine today.
Have fun with Detox. I just want to say Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. My God, but we have next week. Oh no, it's not. It's in the weekend, the 25th. All right, we will see. I hope you guys are back next week. Questions and there it is. Yeah, great. It's. I thought that, on the cover we at least need to have the grapes, because that is the first thing Dr. Morse said. You want to start healing, and you have been told you only have a short time left, and they put an expiration date on you. It's like, oh my God, start with those grapes. It's amazing.
Powerful grapes.
Yeah. So thank you all.
My last thing I want to say is we're all pieces of this puzzle. No matter if you're a little tiny piece or a big giant piece, that puzzle can't be completed without all of us. So we're all here doing our part, no matter what it feels like. And we're so happy to be on this journey with you all. And thank you all very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I want to say thanks for y'all for having us. And yeah, I think when somebody tells you that you have a certain time to live, don't believe them, man. They had, if doctors were that good, they wouldn't be a cemetery full of doctors. So, I seen a lot of cancer patients that lived for 21 years and they went through 3 doctors that died before them. So, you know, as far as for what they tell you, that's what I was saying about the mind. The mind is, wow, it's more important than anybody thinking about right now. Is that much controlling effect. And I think Justin went into that too, and Charlie did too, about how much your mind, talking about the COVID and all of that good stuff. If you think it, it will happen. If you don't think it, it won't happen. You know, as a man thinketh, I forget who that was, but yeah, the book he wrote, As a Man Thinketh, it'll happen. And that's why I just started getting into this really deep, and it's like, wow, man, your mind is very, very important. So just wanted to end with that, and thanks for having me, and till next week.
Thank you, Grant. That is a
Love
good
y'all.
one to close with. And thanks everyone for being here. We all love to hear from you and to be with you actually. And again, it is 111, the magic number. So thank you, Sarah, for always being here. And love you all, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye, Juan. Bye, Grant. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.